Welcome everyone to day 17 of the Sewing Room Declutter Challenge 2026. I'm Karen Brown of Just Get It Done Quilts, and together we're going to clear out the unwelcome, the unwanted, and the no longer necessary to make space for a year full of creativity, clarity, and joy. Today we put on our climbing gear because today's challenge is climbing Mt Scrapmore. Today's the day that we grab all your scraps from all over your sewing space, the basement, the garage, every place that you've tucked them away, just to see how big your Mt Scrapmore has become. And of course, step number one is to use your timer. Now, scraps happen. There's no shame in that, since every project that we have ever made or ever will make produces scraps. However, every square inch of your sewing space is valuable, so you need to decide how much of that space you want your scraps to take up. Scraps also need to be accessible so that you actually use them. The more steps between you and your scraps, the less likely you are to use them. I have this one drawer that I just dump all my scraps into as they are made. But once I process these scraps, I have a couple of other places where I store them. And I showed you my process in this video here. What sizes I keep, where I process them, and sometimes what I make with them. And step 3 is to declutter. With scraps, it's not just the capacity that you want your scraps to occupy in your space. It's also about how fast they are leaving your space through scrap blocks and scrap projects. I call this the scrap stream. So the second thing you need to think of is how many scrap projects do you make a year? If you only make 2 or 3 scrap projects, why are you wasting your valuable space with enough scraps for 10 projects? Personally, I did not make a lot of scrap projects this year, and the block that I am making, these 2.5-inch economy blocks, don't actually consume a lot of scraps. I think I'm bored with the block that I've been making in the past over and over again, so this year I'm going to be planning to shake things up a bit. And of course, step number 4 is to remove them from your space. Do you like to use scraps? If not, you are not alone. But luckily, there are a lot of people that do. You can sell or donate what you do not want, but you need to find those quilters that want them so that the scraps do not linger in your space. Now, in addition to quilting fabric scraps, you may have some scrap knits, denim, upholstery fabric, other dressmaking fabrics, batting, interfacing, stabilizers, and many others. Is your space large enough to store every type? Be sure to follow these 4 steps and remove that doesn't serve you. Remember, today's challenge is not about sorting your scraps into 1,000 different piles and sizes. We're going to do that after the challenge. Today, it's about setting boundaries for the coming year so that you have that balance between the scraps that they're being produced and the scraps that are being consumed. Just because you can make postcards from scraps doesn't mean that you'll actually make them, or that you'll need 6 bags of scrap to do it with. So now it's your turn to share. How big is your Mt Scrapmore? Please share in the notes below or post a picture of it online with this year's hashtags. Take care, and I will see you tomorrow for day 18. The end is near.